Welcome back, students. As you all know that in my previous class we discussed about is the property of metal. Now in today's class we are going to see the property of non-metal and its definition followed by its uses. Okay, some of the uses. There are many uses in the book, you can go through that. Some of the uses we're going to see today. So let us see the definition of non-metal first, though I have already said you about it. These are those elements we say which have either 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 electrons in the outermost shell or valence shell. Because outermost shell is also known by the name valence shell. So if an element has either 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 electrons in the valence shell, that is outermost shell, we call them non-metals. Examples: carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine. Symbol of carbon is C, nitrogen is N, oxygen is O, chlorine is capital C, small l. Atomic number of carbon is 6, nitrogen is 7, oxygen is 8 and chlorine is 17. Now with the help of these all numbers we are going to make this electronic configuration. 6 means how to distribute. First you put 2 in the first shell. How much is left? 4. You can put 4 out here. 2 comma 4. And 7 means again first shell how much to put? 2. Out of 7 2 gone, how much is left? 5. You put in the next. 2 plus 5, 7. 8. So first shell how much to put? 2. Now how much is left here? 6 that you put in the second cell. So 2 plus 8 is 6. Now 17 means how much to put in the first shell? 2. I put. Now how much is left? Out of 17, 2 is gone. 15 is left. So can we put 15 in the second cell? No. How much maximum we can put in the second cell? 8. Because we cannot put 15. Now that means how much is gone? 10 is gone out of 17. How much is left? 7. Now the third cell capacity is again 8 as I said you earlier. So inside 8 we can put 7. So 2 plus 8 plus 7 will give you 17. This is how we do the electronic configuration, students. Now if you see the electronic configuration properly, the one which has 4 electrons in the outermost shell, 5 in the outermost shell, 6 in the outermost shell or 7 in the outermost shell. Those who have 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 in the outermost shell, that is valence shell, is referred as non-metal. So these all comes under non-metal. Also you understood the definition and example, students. Now we'll see the physical property of non-metals. In my previous video we saw the physical property of metal. Now we are going to see the physical property of non-metal. Okay, though we learn 11 physical property of metal, but some of you may learn only 5, 6. But what I say to you, remember all 11. Because in a higher class you have to learn more than that. And it will be magic if you remember the 11 property of metal. Why? Now you can see the magic here. If you know those property of metals, 11 properties, no, opposite becomes the property of non-metal. And non-metal property also you can make it 11. Though it also has more than 11, but for your standard, 11 property of metal and non-metal is enough. In which, if you remember the 11 property of metal, make it opposite, that becomes the 11 property of non-metal. So it becomes a magic. So you don't have to remember 22 now. 11 plus 11. 11 property for metal, 11 property for non-metal. Makes it 22. But you don't have to learn 22. If you remember 11 for the metal, it becomes magic. Make it opposite, becomes for non-metal. What I said in the case of property of metal, they are hard, but non-metals are soft. Okay, just opposite. Metals I wrote solid, but they are even solid or gas. Metal we wrote they have luster, non-metal they don't have luster. Metals are good conductor of heat, but they are bad conductor of heat, opposite. Metals are good conductor of electricity, non-metals are bad conductor of electricity, again opposite. Metal have high melting point and boiling point, non-metal have low melting point and low boiling point, again opposite. It was high, it became low. Metal have high density, I said, non-metal have low. Metals are sonorous, I said, non-metals are non-sonorous, opposite again. Metal have high tensile strength, non-metal have low tensile strength, again opposite. Metals are malleable, non-metals are non-malleable. Metals are ductile, non-metals are non-ductile. See? So if you know the 11 property of metal, you can easily remember the 11 property of non-metal, just making it opposite. So do remember some points. Metal have luster, non-metal, they don't have luster. Metal have high melting point, boiling point, non-metal have low melting point, boiling point. Metal have high density, non-metal have low density. Metals are bad conductor of heat, good conductor of heat, non-metals are bad conductor of heat. Non-metals are good conductor of electricity, non-metals are bad conductor of electricity. Metal have high density, non-metal have low density. Metal have high tensile strength, non-metal has low tensile strength. Metals are hard, non-metals are soft. Metals are malleable, non-metals are non-malleable. Metals are ductile, non-metals are non-ductile. 10 points. Metals are solid, but non-metals are solid and gas. That is only little bit confusion, but rest all 10 properties are enough. So if you know the property of metal, you just make it opposite, becomes the property of non-metal, and this property can be given as the difference between. Suppose if I ask you for 5 marks the difference between metal and non-metal, so what you can give is 5 points for each. 5 difference between any 5 out of this 11. Okay, so I'll go with you all. 5 marks, 5 difference between metal and non-metal. Metal have luster, non-metal don't have luster. Metal have high melting point, boiling point. Non-metal have low melting point, boiling point. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Non-metals are bad conductor of heat and electricity. Metal have high density, non-metal have low density. Okay, so see here, 4 points. Metals are malleable and ductile. Non-metals are non-malleable and non-ductile. So 5 difference in now. So similarly for 6 you can give 6 difference between. For 7 marks you can give 7 difference between. For 8 marks you can give 8 difference between. For 10 marks also you can give 10 difference between, but I am not going to give as big difference questions for you for big marks. Maximum I will give you 6 marks. So you have to give 6 difference. So do remember the 11th property of metal. Make it opposite, becomes the 11th property of non-metal. And if you remember both the 11 properties of both, then you can make the difference between of any marks. If I give you for 5 marks, write 5 points. 6 marks, you write 6 points, and so on. So now let us go with the property of non-metal once again. Non-metals, they are soft. As you know, metals are hard, but non-metals are soft. But there is one non-metal again, which is supposed to be soft, but it is hard, and that is diamond. You know diamond is hard, though it is non-metal, but it is hard. So maximum non-metals are soft, but one non-metal is hard, that is diamond. And the symbol of diamond is C, stands for carbon, because diamond originates from carbon, therefore its symbol is given as what? C only. Done? They are solid or gas, non-metals, but there is one non-metal which is liquid, and that is bromine. Symbol B, capital small r. Usually non-metals are either solid or gas, but there is one non-metal which is liquid at room temperature. The non-metal which is liquid at room temperature is bromine. Symbol capital B small r, which is neither solid nor gas. Metal, they don't have luster. Metal, they have luster. Non-metal, they don't have luster. They do not have luster. But there are 2 non-metals which have luster, means shining surface. One, no doubt, the one who has luster is what? Diamond. It evolved from carbon, therefore the symbol is C. The other one is iodine. Symbol is capital I. Okay? Iodine, symbol is capital I. And these are the 2 non-metal, though they are non-metal, but they have luster. Now next, metals are bad conductor of heat, whereas non-metals are bad conductor of heat. Metals are good conductor, but we are learning the property of non-metal right now. So they are bad conductor of heat. They are even bad conductor of electricity. So non-metals are usually bad conductor of electricity. But there is one non-metal which is good conductor of electricity, and that is graphite. And this graphite also comes from carbon, therefore its symbol is what? Only C. Okay, and you have to again remember these exceptional cases for objective questions. Now metal have high melting point, boiling point, I have already said it, but non-metal property, what you see? They have low melting point and low boiling point. Metal have high density, non-metal have low density. Metal are sonorous, when you strike it produces sound, whereas non-metals are non-sonorous, when you strike sound will not come, so they are non-sonorous usually. Metals have high tensile strength, but non-metals, they have low tensile strength. Metals are malleable, can be turned into sheet, but non-metals are non-malleable, means you cannot build them into sheet. Metals are ductile, can be drawn into wires, but non-metals are non-ductile, means cannot be drawn into wires. So these are the 11 properties of non-metal, students. So if you remember the 11 property of metal, make it opposite, becomes for non-metal. And do remember the actual cases. The question may come from here like this. Name a non-metal which is hard. Answer diamond. Name a non-metal which is liquid at room temperature. Bromine. Name a non-metal which have luster. You can write either diamond or iodine. Name a non-metal which is good conductor of electricity. Answer will be graphite. Okay, for objective. So now let us go to the uses of non-metal, students. We have finished the definition of non-metal, properties of non-metal, along with some exceptional cases of it in the bracket part. Now we go to the uses of non-metal. Again, there are so many uses of non-metal given in the book. You can go through that. It's easy to understand. For you, some uses I am discussing out here, students. Diamond, as you know, is used to make jewelry. Okay, it is even used to cut glasses and to drill rocks. Now you may be surprised. We understood, sir, that diamond is used to make jewelries. It is used to cut glass. It is used to drill rocks. Such an expensive metal, that is your diamond, is such an expensive one, and we cut glass with that, which is very cheap. We drill rocks. Students, do remember there are different varieties of diamond. Transparent diamond has value, but black diamond, red diamond are also there, which are just like pebbles. It has no value. So do remember, transparent diamond is used to make jewelries, but black diamond, red diamond, blue diamond, those are valueless. But those diamonds are used to cut glasses and to drill rocks. Done? Next, graphite. Graphite is used in lead pencils. The pencil which you use, the tip part that contains graphite, which is slippery in nature. So since it is slippery in nature, it is used as lubricant also. Okay, it is used as lubricant because it is what in nature? Slippery. Graphite is slippery in nature, it is used as lubricant. We put in machinery parts, okay, so that it will not get rust. We put graphite in your machinery parts so that it will not get rust, because it produces slippery nature to the machine, whereby it will run smoothly. Done? So it is used as lubricant because of its slippery nature. Now iodine is also a non-metal, but it is used as antiseptic. Suppose if you have a cut in school, you can come to me or to chemistry teacher and ask for iodine, put iodine, it will act as an antiseptic, fast aid. Okay? So iodine is used as what? Antiseptic. Chlorine, it is used to sterilize water. Like you can see in swimming pool, so many of them go and swim in one place. So the germs, bacteria of one body will transform into another body, isn't it? So what the people do out there is they sterilize the water with chlorine, so that the germ will get destroyed or will get killed, or you can remove it out or you can kill it in that water itself. So we use to sterilize water chlorine. As one of the use of non-metal chlorine is, it is used to sterilize water. And it is used as disinfectant, means the one who kills germs and bacteria is called disinfectant. So we can even use chlorine as disinfectant. It is used to sterilize water, or you can say to purify water, to remove germs and bacteria from water. We can use chlorine as one of the sterilizing agent. Done? So students, we have finished the definition of non-metals, properties of non-metals and uses of non-metals. So by this I come to the end of the chapter called metals and non-metal, students. Okay. Now what you have to remember from this chapter, what is important to you all. You'll remember the definition of metal, non-metal, metalloid, noble gas with examples. Number one part is that. Then you'll remember the property of both metal and non-metal. 11 properties you're going to remember, from which some you may write down in the difference between. From this 11, any 6, any 5 you can write. Then you will remember the uses of metal, whichever uses of metal and non-metal, whichever I have explained you so far, or some from the book itself you can learn. Then you have to remember the main important part is the exceptional cases of metal and exceptional cases of non-metals. So liquid metal is mercury, gallium at room temperature. Liquid non-metal is bromine. Remember that, objective questions. Metal which is soft is sodium, potassium, which can be cut by knife. Metal which is non-metal which is hard is diamond. Okay, non-metal which have luster is what? Diamond and iodine. Non-metal which is good conductor of electricity is what? Graphite. Metal which is non-malleable, non-ductile is zinc. And your non-metal metal which is poor conductor of heat is lead. Metal which is poor conductor of electricity is tungsten. So these are some of the objective questions you have to remember for your exams. So students, by this I come to the end of the chapter. If you want, you can take the screenshot of this, and whatever important things I have said you, please do learn for your examination part. And if you don't understand, you can repeat the video. That is always will be there with you all now on, okay? And you can just through the link you can always see these videos Whenever you find it like you have forgotten whatever it is, you can revise the video, you can see the video for revision students, okay, that you can do. And you can make the notes also, okay, by taking the screenshot. Thank you very much, students.